Have you ever walked into a place that felt warm and welcoming, but your gut whispered, "You shouldn't be here"? Because that's exactly what happened to me. So last year, I moved across the country for a new job. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have family nearby. I just had 2 suitcases, a rusty car, and the kind of optimism you only have before life teaches you better. I booked a cheap room online at this old guest house by the sea. The photos looked charming: floral wallpaper, lace curtains. Reviews said things like, "Feels like home," and "The owner is the sweetest woman alive." Seemed perfect. When I finally got there, the air smelled like salt water and wet wood. The building looked exactly like the photos. Cozy, warm lights in the windows, a little bell on the front desk. And behind the desk was the owner. She looked timeless, the kind of person who's been 60 years old for the last 60 years. Soft voice, warm smile, eyes that felt like they were studying me and hugging me at the same time. She said, "Oh good, you made it. I've been expecting you." Which was weird, because I booked under a generic website. But whatever, small business charm, right? She handed me an old-fashioned guest ledger and asked me to sign in. As I'm writing my name, I noticed something strange. The names above mine. They all had very neat handwriting, very similar handwriting, and the dates, years apart. But none of them had checkout dates, just check-ins. I make a little joke like, "Guess nobody ever leaves, huh?" She smiles too long and says, "No, they don't." My room was small but cozy. Window overlooking the foggy ocean, an antique wardrobe, a big soft bed that smelled faintly like lavender and dust. But there was one weird detail. On the inside of the door, there were 3 different locks, all on my side. You'd think that would make me feel safe. It didn't. That night, the house was quiet. Too quiet. No TV, no footsteps, no plumbing noise. Just the ocean and the old building creaking like it had a heartbeat. Around midnight, I heard it. A faint tapping. Not loud, not frantic, just patient. Tap, 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 coming from the hallway. Then, it stopped right outside my door. I held my breath. Whoever it was, didn't move. No footsteps away, no shadow under the door. Just silence. Eventually, I fell asleep, not peacefully, just exhausted. The next morning, the owner made me breakfast. Homemade bread, fresh jam, tea that smelled floral and sweet. I asked casually, "So, how many guests are staying here?" She smiled. "Oh, just the usual." That didn't answer anything. I looked around. Every room on my floor had a "Do Not Disturb" sign. Every door locked, no sounds from inside. It felt like being in a hotel for ghosts. That afternoon, I wandered to the sitting room. There was an old wall cabinet full of framed photographs of past guests, smiling, young, happy, but none of them looked recent, and some of the names matched the ledger. Same people, same smiles, frozen in time. At the bottom of the cabinet, tucked behind a stack of magazines, I noticed a thin envelope with a room number written on it. My room number. Inside was a handwritten note, just one sentence. "Do not drink the tea." My stomach dropped. That night, she knocked on my door again, soft, polite. "I've made you some tea, dear." My heart was pounding so hard, I felt it in my throat. I opened the door just a crack. She was smiling, too kindly, too calmly, like someone who already knew what was going to happen. I said I wasn't feeling well. She insisted, said it would help me rest. But then I noticed something. The mug she was holding was chipped, cracked and stained, like it had been used many, many times, for the same purpose. I finally said, "I'm sorry, I don't drink tea." Her smile flickered, just for a second. Then she nodded and walked away. That night the tapping came back, but this time it wasn't patient, it was urgent. Tap, 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 tap. And then a whisper through the keyhole, "Don't sleep." I didn't. I sat awake until sunrise, staring at the door, listening to the house breathe. The next morning I went downstairs. The ledger was open. Someone had written a new line, my name, and next to it, no checkout date. I didn't check out properly. I didn't even pack fully. I just walked out, didn't run, didn't look back, because some places feel safe right up until the moment you realize you were never supposed to leave. I Googled the guest house months later. The listing was gone. But the building, still there, same lights in the same windows and the same reviews, just one new one added, with my name on it.